screen, I'm going to turn some music on, and we're going to talk about what's been going on. So, our heroes, the KnightLites. Where is my... Sorry. There it is. Our heroes, the KnightLites, have saved the city. They have finished the module Waterdeep Dragon Heist. They are the heroes of Waterdeep. And, well, to put it bluntly, we need to fill some time between the end of our Waterdeep Dragon Heist and the beginning of our Tyranny of Dragons story. So we're doing some Tales of the KnightLites, which mostly these are wrap-up stories, filling out the loose ends, or tying up the loose ends, I should say, from Waterdeep Dragon Heist into Waterdeep featuring the KnightLites, and their own personal stories as we move forward into the next ones. The first tale, Wolf's Bane, was about the odd shape-shifting abilities of the twins, as well as deepening their connection with the divine. These tales are being told as written works by Rashal the Page Turner, the keeper of the Bookworm's treasure, the gold dragonborn that resides in Trollskull Alley, and is friends with the KnightLites. He is the official scribe of the Adventures of the KnightLites, hence Tales of the KnightLites being told by Rashal. And between the tales, we see Rashal's bookshop in its splendor, with the tales books on display. And that is precisely where we fade in after the credits today. We fade in on Rashal closing the first book, Wolf's Bane, and he's got a big stack of the other Tales books nearby, and at the bottom is the new campaign, Six Semper Draconis, featuring the KnightLites at the bottom. So it's all written out because Rashal is awesome that way. He's been narrating Wolf's Bane. If you want to circle back and pick that up, you're welcome to do so. But for today, he closes the book, and you see him chuckle as he looks towards, well, the audience, and he says, "I know that didn't quite fulfill every expectation. There's a few ends that still need tied up. The training of Master Rockham, and the ultimate conclusion of Victaro Casalanter. Some of these will be answered, but I couldn't think of a better way to wrap things up than the valiant victory out in the forest by our heroes. The second story, this one here," and he picks up another book, and this one is... The first one was red and black, kind of the twins colors. This one is purple with silver inlay, and it says Falling into Shadow on it. And he holds it up and he says, "Well, this one continues where the first left off. In fact, it begins before Wolf's Bane ends, properly at least. And I'm quite proud of the pacing of this one. However, this tale is mostly the recollection of Master Coy. Now, Master Coy is, as you may have seen, not the most talkative individual. And I assure you, every account of Master Coy is here in full. But I have taken some liberties with this telling, especially the moments where Master Coy is by himself, to expound on the knowledge with what we have available, further research, and my own artistic license. With that in mind, he opens the page of Fallen into Shadow, and he says, I took some liberties with the foreword of this one, besides. A quote that is always registered well with me, and one that I hope is not ill-fitting for the work contained within. This story begins as such. And I looked, and beheld a pale horse, and his name that sat upon it was Death, and all the hells followed with him. And we fade out of Rashal's shop, and and the KnightLites are yelling at me backstage. And we fade out of Rashal's shop, and we fade in on a bleak landscape. We see a black sky overhead with wispy gray clouds in it. No tapestry of night exists wherever we are. There are no stars to serve as guideposts. There is no moon, no blazing sun, just empty black velvet overhead. The landscape itself is a wind-swept wasteland of sharp, craggy canyons overhead, maybe 2 stories overhead, blown with sand and grit. It is bleak. A white horse comes into view, not emaciated, but certainly a bit sunken in its features as it gallops through this canyon. And on its back, we see Brayden. But not the Brayden that left off in Wolfsbane. A slightly different Brayden. Slightly taller, wearing his new clothes, and sans rapier. Because Nell is floating, glowing this, like, purple starlit hue, some of the only color in the like, white and brown landscape. It's floating directly in front of the horse, and then moving away from the horse as Brayden urges his horse to follow. Brayden, you are asleep. You are asleep in the clearing made by Derek and Rockham and the Avatar of Slaughter. After defeating the Avatar of Slaughter, you are aware that you are asleep. But you're also aware that you are here. And your rapier is guiding you somewhere.
Yes.
You came into consciousness on the horse, chasing the sword through this landscape. What would you like to do?
Continue trying to get my rapier back.
Okay. It's doing that dream thing where it's always faster than you, but only just.
Yeah. So like, every now and again it'll reach out to try and grab it, and I'll just miss out of its grasp.
And eventually it begins to ascend vertically as well as move away from you. As you come out of the canyon onto a windswept cliffside, chill wind bites through your clothes and onto your skin. You see below you a vast frozen forest, kind of like the classic like blue screen Disney intro, how it flies over the forest with the river in it and then becomes the castle.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of like that, except it's frozen and desolate. On the edge of the cliff in front of you, there's a stone wall with an iron fence on top of it with big spikes to prevent people from trying to climb over, and this huge wrought iron gate. The sword calmly ascends the wall and flies into the keep on the far side. There's quite a bit of open ground between the keep and the gate of which you find yourself before. The gate is covered in corvids, probably 100 or 200, both the red-eyed variant and the normal variant of all manner of iridescent feathered, avians just sitting around the gate. The gate is emblazoned with a crest that does not mean anything to you at this point in time, a big fancy noble's crest.
Yep.
You've seen their light before, but never paid much mind to them. There is snow mixed with the sand and grit up here beneath the wind, and you can see across the courtyard, the castle rising high above your head, adorned with icicles of all shapes, twisted by the wind. There are no lights to welcome you to the castle. The glow of the rapier long faded. There are no lights in the courtyard besides. However, you can see shapes moving about in the courtyard. The word that I would use is shambling.
Oh.
And as I said, it's quite a way to the keep. But your horse stops here at the gate as if knowing that this is your destination.
Yeah, and like, I wasn't planning on taking the horse into the keep. That's for sure. So as we approach the gates, you'll dismount and pat the horse to thank it for taking him on this journey. Almost slightly dismissing it.
Okay. I mean, I think if you get off the horse, I think it's gonna leave.
Yeah. No, I'll let it.
Okay, so the horse just, starts ambling away. And you're standing, there's a train going by. You're standing in front of this gate with, not all of them. I'm not going full horror movie with this. Like, not every crow on the gate is staring at you. But a good number of them are. They're behaving as you would expect with birds.
Aye, less who is this intruder and more, oh, there's a human here.
Yeah, it's less it's less like the crows have eyes and more like, oh, there's an interesting thing and they're behaving like animals is my point.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Just to clarify, in the courtyard from the gate to the castle, there's the shambling.
Correct. There is. Right. So it is. You're on. Is it called a plateau if it's surrounded by air? I know it's a plateau if it's surrounded by water.
No, a peninsula is surrounded by water.
Sorry?
A peninsula is surrounded by water. A plateau is a raised flat area.
Okay. Yeah, it's a plateau. It's fairly wide. This is going to sound contradictory, but bear with me. It's fairly wide to accommodate a nice courtyard, but it's also narrow in that it's this big triangular spike of land that just goes up to the keep, and then there's nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And it narrows to a point by the keep. So I would say there's probably like 100 meters or so between the gate and the keep, and then the keep itself is like a massive like fortress, right? So you've got a bit of space, but also there's a sheer drop on other side, like down into like frozen and inhospitable forest.
In other words, I can't shamble out on the wall on the outside. Correct.
Nothing can shamble around the wall on the other side. There doesn't seem to be anything on your side, just like wasteland behind you. There's no shambling on this side, but there's definitely shambling things on that side.
Okay. And it was the wall and the gate that have the spikes to stop people climbing over.
No, the wall, it's a stone wall, and then there's iron spikes on, there's an iron fence on top of that ends in those vertical like arrow spikes.
Yeah.
The gate itself has the spikes on the top of the gate, but then there's a stone arch on top of that, and that's what the crows are sitting on.
Ah, okay.
But it's like, it's big enough to accommodate a carriage. So it's like, you're probably 20 feet up, 25 feet up.
Ready grapple hook with malicious intent.
About 12 meters.
Yeah. Before I start trying to climb anything, can I just try to see if the gate's open itself?
Yeah. So you like reach up, grab the gate.
Push it slowly so that if it does give.
Yeah, like you put it. It gives in the same way that a locked gate gives. It gives until the lock pulls taut.
Yeah.
So you can move it in both directions. You can pull it and push it. I would say if you pulled it all the way and then pushed it all the way, I would say you get maybe a couple meters of movement from that.
Sure. It was more just to see if it was locked or not.
What I was gonna say, it is definitely locked. What I was gonna say though is it makes a god awful noise.
Oh.
like like even if you just push on it gently and start to move, like you feel the hinges catch because of the ice and the rust and all this other stuff, and it's just this awful like groaning sound. You see like you could see into the courtyard as far as your dark vision will allow. So you saw a couple of the shambling shapes. They stop moving when the gate creaks.
Right.
So the good news is you don't get rushed like something out of Left 4 Dead. The bad news is they know you're here.
That's what I was trying to avoid. Fuck.
Well, I should say, they know the gate was moving.
Yeah. Could be the wind.
Sorry?
It could have been the wind.
True. The wind up here is substantial.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna like try and climb the stone wall. Using my like new grapple hook.
Okay, yeah. So you fire your grappling hook to the top of the arch. We hear the motor like whining as it pulls you up to the top. The crows all fly off. You get up here, like you're hanging by your hands and you're about to pull yourself up. Like they do that thing where you like throw your knee up.
Yeah.
You realize you've got about 10 centimeters before there's iron spikes up here. A very narrow ledge.
It's not going to be easy to get over the spikes, is it?
The spikes are only about waist high. The issue is going to be getting up there on the narrow ledge and not hurting yourself, either from the ice, the wind, or the spikes. If you could get into a standing position, you could probably just step over them.
It's the way you're describing the spikes makes it sound like it's just like the tipped. Aside from
ish. Hang on, let me see. So,
are these bird spikes or intruder spikes?
So you have a gate. You have the gate down here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the stone arch on top of it, right?
Right.
The spikes go through the gate, up through the stone arch, and then like points. See what I'm saying?
Right. So there's a bit on it where there's nothing that will jab into them, so I could grab that and pull myself up.
Correct, but you won't. But you don't have a lot of space. Is my point.
Aye.
You are absolutely right, but there's not a lot of space.
Use the spikes to steady myself.
Okay. Pull yourself up. I'm gonna need you to make an acrobatics check with advantage, just because it's icy and there's conditions and stuff like.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Easily. So you pull yourself up, and yeah, you're standing, like, against the wind, looking down over the courtyard. There's really nowhere to go. Like, if you go over the spikes, you have just as narrow of a ledge, and then just void as you drop into the courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a slightly higher vantage point, so your dark vision can work in your advantage here.
Yep.
You're not sure what the shamblers are, even like from this angle. You have a fairly good look at one of them. It's bipedal, looks to be humanoid, but I'm gonna say this for you, Delta, and then I'm gonna explain it. It looks like a Nurgle zombie.
Oh.
It's got this huge putrescent sack on its back. Its head is invisible under all of this, like, growth. It's got, like, tentacles coming out at odd angles. And other than that, like, what you could tell, there's, like, a gaunt humanoid underneath. But it also has, like, it's leaving avian footprints. It's weird.
Yeah, I was assuming these things were just shadows, but after that description, I'm staying the fuck away from them even more.
Yeah, it's rough. There are there's various like things you would expect to see in a fortress courtyard here. You can see like a well, the remains of a stables, destroyed by now, but
Mm.
there. Busted up wagon in part of the sea. There's also, and it's hard to tell with your dark vision, there's lumps in the snow. The snow and grit, I should say. Like, there's something pushing the wind, or blocking the wind in one direction, I should say. So there's these mounds, like, all over the courtyard.
Almost like there's something sitting underneath them.
Yes. Whether that is a Nurgle zombie or whether that is an object of some description, you cannot tell from this angle.
Fair.
What would you like to do?
From where the vantage point that I've got, can I see where the sword flew into the keep?
Yes, it went into the tower.
Open window.
Yeah.
Or open slit. Oh, okay.
An open window in the tower. There was no light, in that area. There's no light anywhere, really.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Weighing my options and what I can do. Because our original plan was like try and stay on the wall and like shimmy across till I get closer to the actual keep.
The wall is only here. The wall doesn't go around the courtyard.
Also, it's a wall to segregate like the outside to the inside.
Correct.
And
past
the front wall, there's no wall going around.
No, the cliff is the wall.
It's just a cliff. Okay.
Yep. And it's one of the, because it's like a spike. If you wanted to, for example, get down and climb up, you'd have to climb upside down for parts of it, and that's like almost impossible.
Yeah. I'll say this as clear as I can. Find a part of the wall where there's less the fucking shambling bullshit.
There's not that many. There's like I said, like 100 meters of courtyard. From where you're seeing with 60 feet of dark vision, is that right?
Yes.
You see like 2.
the point furthest away from the closest one.
Okay.
I'm gonna like get to there and then climb down.
Well, it's drop down, but
you say that.
You'll land in snow. It's fine.
Okay.
Like,
as long as when I drop down, they're not just gonna turn and be like intruder rush.
Make a stealth check. There's a mechanism for this.
I know. That's what I was trying to like preface.
Okay. That's a low roll for you.
I know.
So you drop down into the snow, and I think that's the thought that plays along Braden's like mind, and we see his face under his cowl. Like, he hits.
That was loud.
Yeah.
That was louder than I wanted it to. Looks at the closest zombie.
No reaction.
That's it, zombie.
No reaction.
Okay, good. And yeah, I'm going to start making my way to the keep, avoiding the shamblers and also the mounds that are in the snow.
You're avoiding the mounds.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to need another stealth check, and I'm going to need an acrobatics check to keep your feet against the wind.
Okay. So.
You remember the opening cutscene of Dark Souls 3, where those mourners are like going through the desert with those canes?
Yeah, and a few of them are getting like pushed back from the wind.
That's not quite that bad, but you're close to that.
Okay.
Okay.
Stealth check.
Noted on the stealth check.
And acrobatics.
Cool. Perfect. Solid. So you're creeping through. You're avoiding the mounds.
Mm-hmm.
You're avoiding the shamblers. Fair dues. Yeah. As you cross over the courtyard, you do see more of them. It's not like the whole place. Well, it is like the whole place is covered in them, but it's not like Days Gone. It's like Resident Evil. There's like maybe 20. More than you can handle, especially without your rapier, but it's not like a horde, right?
Yeah.
You see other things that you would expect to see in a fortress courtyard, but by your own admission, you don't stop to look at any of it. You just go.
I was avoiding them, but as I was going to ask, like, can I see one of them? What does it look like? Does it look like there's anything underneath it, if it's breathing or whatnot?
The mount?
Yeah. So I'm not going to get close enough to try and disturb it, but like, it's more like, what the fuck is this?
It looks like a stone. It looks like a windbreak, like stone. Like something has been placed here as a marker, and there's just been so much time that there's like grit and snow piled up around it to make a mound, but it's bigger on one side. They don't appear to be alive.
Okay. That was my worry.
At least the couple that you look at. I'm not going to say that none of them are Chambliers, but the couple that you look at, it doesn't seem to be an issue.
Okay, one of them that I'll look at that definitely isn't alive, I'm going to investigate it.
Okay.
See what it actually is.
Make an investigation check. Nice. Okay. So you go over to the thing and you start like clearing the grit off of it. You have to like dig out a little bit of it. It's cold. It sucks. Like wherever you are, this area sucks.
Yep.
But you start to excavate it, and you realize it is a fairly traditionally structured gravestone.
Does it have a name?
It does, or it did. Do you speak Elvish?
No.
Then you can't read it.
Fair enough.
It's been wind blasted to fuck, and it's hard to make out anyway, but also it's in Elvish.
Fair enough.
If all of these are gravestones, there's more than 100.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh great, I'm in a mausoleum. Perfect. I'm just gonna keep moving towards.
Okay.
Then.
So your first major obstacle is the drawbridge of the keep is up.
Right.
And it's got this thick sheet of icicles on it.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to the edge, the entrance of the keep, and there's a probably 30 foot, so 12 or so, no, 14 or so meter wide gap of nothing that just drops into the black void.
Wow. Okay. So drawbridge is up, no clear way to get across the moat, so to speak.
The moat, so to speak, is a cliff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is a way to get across. It's shitty. There are guide chains to make sure that the drawbridge falls where it's supposed to. Attached to
covered in ice.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. How big did you say the gap was?
30 feet.
Right.
So, whatever that is, 2.2 meters is a foot, so 14 meters or so?
Aye. So from where I'm standing is at the edge, over to the other one is 14?
Ish.
And from the edge of that to the actual castle, how far is that?
Oh no, it ends at the drawbridge. There's no gap on that side.
Okay.
So it's a big 30 foot, 10 foot wide drawbridge, and it's gonna come down, but it's up currently, so it just ends at the wall of the keep.
Right. And directly above, that's where the sword flew into the
Make a perception check.
Perception.
It's dark and snowy. It's hard to see above you.
Do I have a general idea where it was from where I was standing on the wall, though?
Of the castle?
From where the sword flew into the keep.
I mean, yes, you know it went into the tower, but
Okay.
you don't see a way to get there.
Because what I was going to do was pull a Sinbad, if anybody's seen the cartoon-ish movie. Is, like, fucking take 4 of the knives that he's got, just tie 2 to his boots, and then the other 2 and use them to climb up with the help of the grapple hook.
You totally could.
Yeah, that's the idea I'm running with. Because if there's this many of these things outside, I don't want to take chances of going inside through the front door.
You don't want to go inside at all.
Exactly. But I need to get my rapier back.
Okay. So you want to...
Because I've got string, I've got the daggers for it.
Right, so you want to tie 2 daggers to your boots,
Mm-hmm.
and then use those as, like, cleats to,
Yep.
like, bore into the ice and climb up.
Yep. With another dagger in hand to be able to, like, stick into the wall to then use the
Do you have
grapple hook,
pythons? This
shoot
would be a
up.
lot better if you had pythons.
I do have pythons. I could use them. Fair enough.
Yeah, like, the dagger will break. It's not made to support your weight, but the pythons, absolutely.
Aye, I'll use the pythons then.
Okay, this is still going to be an athletics check, but I'll give you
Aye.
advantage. So we have to take this in stages. I can't just be like 1 check and you're done.
I know.
The first check is going to be to shimmy up the chain to get to the wall. Or are you going to try to jump it?
I was going to use the grapple hook.
What's the rank on your grapple?
SU check just to make sure. 60 feet.
60 feet. Okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Make a dexterity based attack, please.
I've actually got that set up. I should have that set up already. Hold on, where is it?
Oh, great.
Because I ranged attack plus proficiency in dex and a d20. I should already have that set up somewhere.
Chat says, did Brayden plane shift to a Dark Souls level? Because this sounds like a Dark Souls level. So the short answer to that is yes. Brayden did plane shift, and I like Dark Souls. So, kind of.
Or rather, someone else plane shifted for him.
Fair.
Dex attack plus a d.
Like it's a cane hearse is what he did.
By the way, KnightLites, you are welcome to provide commentary. This is going to take a while.
Okay.
Oh, well, I didn't have it in as a fucking attack. I had it in my.
What point does the boss fight kick in?
It depends on what Brayden does.
I was gonna say ice spiders when?
Okay,
I
so
know the math to figure out how long the distance between where Brayden's standing and the top of the drawbridge is.
cool. So
Because that's the useless stuff high school teaches me.
So you fire your grapple across the gap, and it sinks into the icicles, and then the icicles just drop. So this huge sheet of ice just plummets downward over the side of the cliff. Makes a hell of a cracking and shattering noise. Bigger issue, your grappling hook is stuck in it.
Cut the wire quickly.
Cut the wire. Okay, your grapple is now useless.
Yeah. Well, shit.
And that made a hell of a noise.
Yeah, so no way to
In
juice.
response...
Yep.
You ever heard of ring wraith?
Yeah.
Oh no!
That digitally augmented screeching noise?
Mm-hmm.
You hear that from the keep.
Great.
You could thank Birchmila for that one.
You know, the moment you
what
think you
did-
have a
why-
base, the moment you think you have a base understanding of what the fox is gonna play with, you just gotta put that down and accept the fact that no, you fucking don't.
What did I do, Gabsy? I'm confused.
Also, why is this my fault?
Because you
Wait,
called for a
hold
boss
on.
fight.
Oh. Sorry.
As am I, if this is what I understand it to be.
In my defense, I'm not the one that said Dark Souls.
I mean, valid, but like, what do you mean you don't understand me? I'm confused. Is the story not logical?
It probably is. I just don't have enough factors yet.
Okay.
To my understanding of the sequence of events and the objective in mind that was decided behind the screen, I'm befuddled. And I like it.
Okay, fair enough. What do you do, Brayden?
Before
Don't worry,
you continue with
Gamsy.
that,
You just started the Dark Souls game. You haven't found all the lore yet.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I didn't add the d20 into that.
Didn't add the d20 into what?
The attack roll for the.
No, it did.
Did it?
Yeah. 1d10, 1d20 plus 10. And you rolled well enough to hit the damn thing.
Yeah, it just shattered.
It just shattered, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
You hit it too well.
So, big loud crashing noise, big loud screeching noise. On the plus side, I'd say a good 40% of the ice on the door is now gone.
It's more just I don't have a way to get it down.
Also, there's a level 1 botanist down on the bottom of that cliff that's gonna have a real bad day now. Anyway.
That's not my fault.
Don't you have like Tinker's tools and stuff? Do you know how to fix a grappling hook?
Yeah, no, he can absolutely fix it. The problem is, he cut his grapple. The grapple is gone.
He has to find the hook itself before he can fix it.
Or someone has to make a new one.
Or someone has to make a new one, yeah.
It's a good thing it's a dream.
I mean... That didn't help you when Freddy's hunting.
I know.
Delta.
Now I have fucking
No, he's fine. I told him it was a dream. I said that. I said, like, on camera, it was a dream.
Sockham's had a couple of dreams and he's come out different.
True.
So I don't.
Physically, your gear hasn't changed.
He's gained
But
gear.
his tattoos did.
I've gained gear, but there's never been an instance where I could have lost gear before.
I mean, I will argue. I mean, fair. That's entirely fair.
Either
However,
either way, he doesn't know how to wake up, and he lost his grapple. So
Doesn't. Well, it's easy if you want to wake up. Just jump off the plateau.
you think?
That's a terrible idea.
Oh, no doubt.
Ever heard of dying in dreams to die in real life?
So your grapple's gone. Ice, large sound, massive screech sound. What are you doing?
Roll.
Looks down the pit. Well, fuck. Honestly, the only other thing I can think of is to just jump the gap and just like pythons into the wall.
You would rather jump the gap than climb the chains?
You said yourself the chains are covered in ice.
Aye, but icy chains is something to hold on to versus trying to jump a, 14-meter gap.
You could also just use your knives and just shink them through the links for extra hold.
I'd rather use the pythons for that, but good point.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean.
So you hear the crunch of snow from behind you.
And with that, I'm running to the chain and trying to climb it.
All right, make an athletics
Taking the
check.
disengage action.
Disengage, climb the. Okay, yep.
Athletics.
Athletics. Mm-hmm.
Athletics.
Not even stopping to see who it is.
No. Fuck that.
Little did he realize.
Braden, I want you to know the stream did not see the 3D dice because I had the wrong scene up. But on my screen, that was an insidious failure.
It nearly was, yeah. It landed on the one and then cleaned over.
And then, yeah, whoo.
Wow.
Whoo.
That could have gone very bad very fast.
He rolled really well. What was the actual roll? But the 3D dice gave me a heart attack right there. Anyway, so you grab the chain, like grab it with both hands above your head, swing your feet up, and start like shimmying across the gap.
And look down where I heard the crunch.
You look down and there's like 8 shamblers, just shambling towards the gap.
Whoa, that was close.
And they're all like mutated in some putrescent way.
Yeah. Papa Nurgle had a field day with this one.
Yeah, right. You climb hand over hand to the top. You feel the top of the door like brush your shoulders, and you look down and you realize it's not completely closed. It's mostly closed, but there's like a 5-foot gap with snow at the bottom, basically directly below you.
Yeah. Pretty much, I could slide down into the insides. I guess I'm doing that.
I mean,
I could climb up from the outside.
You could.
But honestly, the question is, what one's safer?
I don't want to railroad you, and I don't want it to seem like I'm railroading you. You're the one who said, I don't want to go inside. I'm giving you the option that the inside is there, but if you want to commit to your previous plan, feel free.
Honestly, right, is the drawbridge stable enough that I could sit on it and like keep my balance?
You don't know. You do not know. You could put your weight on that and shimmy down, and the whole thing could just. You don't know.
Yeah. Like keeping the full grip on the chains, then I'll put his weight on the top of the drawbridge then.
Okay. So like holding onto the chain, like wedge yourself into the 5-foot gap, and then you're gonna like sit your butt on the bridge and see what happens?
Yeah.
While holding on, obviously.
Yeah.
It doesn't move.
Good. Okay, good. And like keeping his balance, I'm gonna take out a couple of the pythons and. Do I have a hammer? That was a good question.
You're an orc. You kind of do.
Yeah, it's called a fist.
I was thinking just like overhand lunge, like stab.
Where do you get the pythons from?
He's got pythons. He's had them the whole campaign.
Where did he get them from?
His pack.
I've had pythons this entire time. I was part
then
of
you,
Yeah, if you got them
if it's part of started equipment, you got a hammer with it.
Hammer.
Yeah, I've got a hammer. I've got a crowbar as well. Just in case.
Either the Dungeoneering's pack, either the Dungeoneer's pack or the Thieves pack.
I'm pretty sure he got a Dungeoneering's pack. That sounds like something Brayden would take. Anyway.
Yeah. But I am pretty much gonna set a python in to the wall. Make sure it's stable enough. Just into the wall in front of him.
Like above the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the rope that I've got, feed it through and tie it around himself, so that if he falls, he's not going to plummet to his death.
Valid. You could counterweight your own rope, actually. Like hold the rope, hold yourself steady, and then like push the rope upwards and let gravity take you down.
No, I'm not using that to go into the keep. I'm using that to fucking pretty much rock climbing up the side of the castle.
You're going up more.
I'm going up, yeah.
Okay.
To either find an open window that I can at least rest at, or all the way up.
Can we just appreciate for a minute? Brayden is in a place he has no idea where he is. It's winter. He's at very high elevation, breaking into a keep by scaling the frigid, frozen walls, and he's only just now put in a safety line.
The funniest part of me is that he said up more.
A man after his Vilay's own heart.
Yeah, right?
He said
spoken like a rogue with second story work.
I was gonna say, yeah. He's also the first D&D character since the game came out in the 1970s to use the safety line. So
Hey, I don't know. I feel like there's been someone.
I beg to differ. Artie tried to do that. She failed, but she tried.
Successfully. So you're gonna try to go up. So above the gatehouse, there are. Again, to be clear, I'm not trying to force you into the door.
I know.
There's hostile architecture.
Yeah.
So there's windows. The first window directly above the door is probably like 5 meters above your head, and between you and it, there's diagonal iron spikes. There's windows to either side, but they're further. They're probably 10 or 15 meters out.
Yeah.
And they have hostile architecture above and below them, but not on the sides. The top of the keep is probably 50 meters above you.
Yeah. Which wouldn't be a problem if I still had my grapple hook.
Right?
Time to improvise.
Hey. I mean, I still have my handheld one, but that requires like stable foot to actually get a good whoof with.
Right.
I mean, if you miss, you can reel it back in.
I know if it comes down and smacks me in the head.
He could have reeled the previous one in too, but he decided to cut the rope.
I thought you said it was stuck.
You said it was stuck in
I didn't say it was a good idea. I said you could do it.
Just allow me to like two-hand the rope and just pull it to see what happens. Because the line's either going to snap or I'm going to get dragged down with the fucking ice.
Right, exactly. Anyway, we're here now, so.
Yeah. Go around the hostile architecture.
So you're gonna go up. Okay, I'm gonna need. Ugh, fuck. Okay, I really, really, really want to give you advantage on this, but I can't because it's sheer. The wind and the ice and the cold is so much. Like, I will say this: your preparations prevent disadvantage, but I can't.
Yeah,
I can't give you advantage.
One of the times I wish I had proficiency. Inspiration.
Right.
Wait, shut up. Hold on. Wait.
You don't get inspiration after that fucking fight? After all that?
Nah.
I thought I had one. I was gonna give it to you, but I don't.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no to one.
Let me check.
Let me see what I have on my sheet.
No,
I'm
sorry.
tempted to be like, they're not here, they can't give you inspiration, but I'm not gonna do you like that.
Yeah, sorry, no luck here.
Quick, somebody check bright ones.
I don't have one.
Where are you trying to get, by the way?
The easiest window to get to.
So the one like 5 meters up?
I said easiest. That one's covered by hostile architecture.
I mean,
whereas
the others
two
are also covered by hostile architecture. The difference is the one directly above you, you can fall to relative safety as opposed to the cliff.
Yeah. Then yeah, the one that's 5 up.
Okay. Make an athletic check.
You would not believe your eyes.
Oh, that's not gonna do it, homie. You didn't fail. Like, you didn't fail catastrophically, but that's not gonna be enough. So I think you go to slam a python up above you and pull yourself up, and it just, like, where you're sitting on the door, you just shatter the ice off the building, and it comes crashing down around you. You ever seen somebody take like a pipe and hit their snowy roof, and all the snow comes down?
Yeah,
that's
pretty much
Brayden.
that, but the face. No.
Great, now there's
Like,
not ice
cover-
there, and maybe he can get a handhold.
With arms.
Like, the only reason you don't fall is because of the rope.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
I mean, I would try again, but because the conditions are different. I mean, they technically are. The ice is gone.
The ice is gone. That's true.
So I could try again and actually put it into the actual stone.
I can't promise it'll lower the DC.
I know.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm gonna try one more time, and if not, it's like, oh, fuck, there's no way I'm climbing this. I guess I'm going inside.
All right.
Dice, please be kind.
There you go. You slam the python in, you pull yourself up, kind of like, I don't know what it's called, but there's a thing in Ninja Warrior where you're given a pair of pythons and a vertical surface with holes in it, and you have to like go across on your hands. That's basically what Braden is doing, except you don't have the holes.
Mm-hmm. I am making my own holes.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Jeez, okay.
That reminds me. Offer Mert the idea of Waterdavian Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So you like go sideways along this wall, and you pull yourself up, and you look in the window. It's a big like bowed out window. It's not a bay window. You can't sit in it, but it's like bowed outward. And you look in, and there's just a doll. Just a freaking porcelain doll with its head turned towards you.
It would recoil from that. It's like, fuck.
Make a dex save.
It's like, fucking.
This is getting more bloodborne by the moment.
There's a fucking like musical beat when you jump.
Yeah.
Oh
the
no.
scare strings.
I was about to say, is the doll going to say something about the Hunter's Haven?
Right. So yeah, I think you recoil and you lose your grip on the pythons. The rope catches you, so you swing out over the void. The rope catches you, and then you swing horizontally, like back, like along the 5-foot gap, like a pendulum. You probably like crack your side on the drawbridge.
Probably. Slightly winded, just morsed himself. Like, fuck.
I've been hit by a forklift. I know exactly how that feels.
Just like swing it back and forth. What's your next move?
You're gonna wake up with fewer hit points than you started with.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, just so that we're all on the same page, Brayden might die here.
Yeah, possibly.
Listen.
Yeah, this current situation is not worth it. He's gonna right himself, take the pythons and rope back off the fucking wall.
Those two above you, you're gonna have to climb back to get them, unless you want to just leave them there.
No, the other two I'm just gonna leave.
Okay.
So I'll just take 2.
And then lower yourself down on the rope.
Yeah.
There's a nice pile of snow underneath you. You drop down. You're out of the wind, at least. You drop down into a stone foyer that I can only describe as Dracula's castle.
Yeah.
It's
Alright.
Dracula, you big nerd. Where's my fucking money?
basically
I was gonna make that joke.
Have you played Resident Evil 1, Delta?
No, but I've watched them.
Okay, you've watched it. The main entrance to the mansion has the staircase directly in front of the door, the big open foyer, and then like 3 rooms on either side, and then an upper deck that goes all the way around.
Yeah.
There's actually a infested derelict level that looks similar to that. In the beginning. Very similar here. The only difference is the Resident Evil mansion is wood and this is stone.
Yeah.
There is no light. There is no movement, thankfully. Just a bleak ass room. This would be a great place to explore if you knew where the fuck you were. Like,
yeah.
Old manor castle. And it's like, it's been lived in. You can see like art on the walls. Granted, damaged, but it exists. You can see like pottery in places where it's meant to like catch the eye, right? The floor is, it's not just like a raw slab of stone, it's like worked tile. So yeah, like it's definitely been lived in. There's the remains of like a gray and purple, it looks like it's faded, like carpet leading from the drawbridge like up to the stairs. And there's also, it should be noted, like a portcullis above the drawbridge, and this room, it was obviously meant to take like carriages and stuff, but it's indoors. Like, it's very obviously like it's a foyer, but it's also like the like place where you pull the carriage in and turn it around.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't keep the carriage here, but because of the conditions outside, apparently, like, whoever, like, lord of this keep would just bring people into his parlor and then have them turn around.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you've got one of the doors on the lower left is caved in. So you've got like 5 doors down here, and then the upper deck, which you can't really see.
Yeah. Brayden's already done with this shit because of what happened this side.
Right?
So
It's-
fucking
For what it's worth, it's much warmer in here.
but his thought process right now is just like, fuck this, I just want my sword back and I'm gone.
So then it sounds like you want to go up.
Yes. Find the upmost place and go up that.
You know that the tower is like on your right hand somewhere, so theoretically, if you go up and to the right, eventually you'll get to the tower. So you
Hopefully.
come out of the snowdrift at the bottom of the... Like, this is a substantial snowdrift. Like, you hit it and, like, sunk in, and then had to, like, pop out again.
So the gate's
sorry?
been open for a while.
Yeah. And you like, cross the room, you get to the stairs.
I'm being sneaky about it. I don't want any...
Make a stealth check.
I don't want them to know exactly where I am. They know I'm here already because gestures aside.
Make a stealth check. Okay. So that's a good roll. What I will say is you get to the base of the stairs, and it's one of those stairs, mostly because I love the style. It's gorgeous to me. It's the stairs that go up and then split to the left and right and go up again.
Yeah.
And the back wall is a wall, sometimes a stage, depending on how high the upper floor is. This one goes all the way up. And at the top, there's a circular stained glass window. When you get to the stairs, something moves over the stained glass window from the outside.
Lovely.
Oh, good. So he's in Hawk Manor.
Correct. That's very good imagery for the situation, Trayscare. Yes. Thank you.
Mana. Not familiar with Hawk Mana.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Just stay in Resident Evil land and you'll be fine.
Okay. What direction did it move in?
It moved over the window.
Aye, but what way did it move? Left, right? If it was something moving behind it, I would have been moving in that direction.
Forward.
Came towards the window.
Yes, it came towards the window and then blocked the window.
Right. Oh, okay. I'm going to keep my eye on it, but I'm going to keep going up the stairs and moving.
Okay. And like
Trying to find
creaking up the stairs. The stairs are stone. They're either stone themselves or they're like insulate. They don't creak. Is my point. You hit the first landing. You kind of like duck under the window. You turn and you go up the right hand set of stairs. You get to the top of the right hand set of stairs, and you look back, and there's a pool of moonlight through the bay window, or through the stained glass window, like where you were standing a moment ago. Something has moved off of the window, and now there's a light there, which wasn't before.
Mothman.
I am very unnerved by the situation.
This is what Curse of Strahd should have been. Anyway.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
I want my sword back, motherfucker. I'm going to keep pressing forward.
Okay. On this side, there's 3 doors, like on your right, set into the wall, and then there's a hallway directly in front of you that just keeps going forward.
Anything on either side of the hallway?
Yes. The left, like your left hand going down this hallway is just windows.
Right.
Some of which have been busted out, and there's like snow blowing in. And then on the right, there's a couple of doors. Theoretically opening into some of the same rooms that you could see on your immediate right.
anything further up? Does it just end in the wall there with a window?
It goes further than your dark vision.
Oh,
It's more than a 60-foot hallway.
fair.
There's no light in here. There's zero light in here. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna just start up the hallway.
okay, you get. Do you have? You don't have anything like danger sense or whatever, do you?
No.
Okay.
The
Can you
only
make
thing I have is an 18 of perception.
Can you make? Okay. Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Oh, great. Okay.
Okay. So you go to step up the hallway, and you're on either side of you. There is solid wall. You're about to cross in front of the first window, and you feel something. You don't feel vibration. There's just something in your gut that's like, if I cross in front of this window, there's going to be something staring at me. Like you feel like the fucking Alien movie. Like there's something about 6 inches in front of you, and then off to your left, whatever's through that window. Like if you stick your head around there, you're gonna see like the alien.
Your genre savvy senses tingling.
Yes, thank you.
Right. I'm guessing I need to go further forward if there's to get to one of the doors on my right.
Well, not
does it
necessarily.
pass
You can step back and then go to the right along the balcony of the foyer, and you'll have 3 doors. If you want to get to the first door in the hallway, yes, you need to go actually 2 windows in.
Can I take a step back and wait a minute and see if the feeling passes?
Sure. You take a step back, and you're just like, I'm okay. I'm okay. You can't say there's nothing here, because there very clearly is something here.
Yeah.
There are no outward tells that anything changes. There's nothing keeping you from going. Like, let me be clear. You are not compelled to not go this way. Like, nothing like that. It's just, you know that there is an apex predator on the other side of that glass.
I'm real tempted just to take out my crossbow and let Tart go around the corner.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm going to take out my heavy crossbow and do that.
Take
If
out
there's
your
something there, it's getting shot.
You take out your heavy crossbow, you whip around the corner, there is a raven, like a normal, standard-sized raven, like sitting on a balcony over, like, the windows, like, open up onto a balcony. There's an inner terrace to the keep, and it looks like something out of The Sacrifice.
Right.
There's, like, trees protected by the wind. There's a shitload of snow in here, but there's trees relatively protected by the wind with a big, like, open skylight at the top, that, like, goes, like, the keep is a square shape, right? And the balcony goes around the central courtyard. It's just a pretty little park area. You see, like, the raven, and then all hell breaks loose.
Fuck.
Yeah. Where is it? Where is
Quoth
it?
the raven. Fuck not again.
Where is it? I know I have it.
Quote the raven. Get over here, bitch.
Whoops.
You see the raven, and you're like, oh, it's just a raven. And then swooping down from out of the skylight, out of the jet black sky, lands this colossal, literally colossal, like, corvid creature. It's vaguely crow-shaped, but it's got a head like a grizzly bear. Not literally, like the head size of a grizzly bear, vaguely ursine features. It's got a beaked maw full of teeth. It's got these huge, like, ostrich legs that it lands on the balcony with, cracking the stone. Its wingspan is almost bigger than the courtyard. And it just lands and just makes that same screeching noise at you. What do you do?
So about that boss fight.
Yeah. Honestly, just reflectively, reflect. reflexively, he's just gonna shoot, stick the crossbow on his back, and run down the hallway.
That's a smart move. So you shoot the crossbow, make your attack. Okay, so it shatters through the window. You see it hit the wing of this creature and just explode. No damage. You're like, oh,
After
fuck.
seeing what happened, after seeing what happened with the beast of slaughter, it's like, ah, great, I need my rapier for this.
Put the crossbow on your back, turn, start running up the hallway. You hear glass shattering. You hear like heavy, like pounding footsteps behind you. What's your speed? This thing is taking out the bake of windows as it runs.
Yeah. Speed's 40, but
Okay.
honestly, I'm activating the boots, so 80.
Okay, nice. So you're running. This thing is almost on you.
Whoa.
With the boots. This thing is almost. You can hear its beak like snapping at your cloak. It's like shaking the walls. It's putting holes in the floor. You get to the end of the hallway. There's a door directly in front of you, and it also hooks to the left.
I'm not even going to stop. It's just getting shoulder bashed through.
Okay, make an athletics check.
I'm sorry. All I can think is Dark Beast. Corbin
I ain't
strong.
stopping.
You shoulder open the door, and you see a like drawing room. It's like it's not quite a bedroom, but it's like a place where you would like get dressed or have like a little private lounge, so to say. There's like a desk with some papers right near the door, more like a table, really. A bunch of like low couches, bookshelves on the wall. No windows in this room, but there's a door directly in front of you.
I'd still not stopping. I'm going forward because I've got a big fuck
Make
off
another
thing back.
athletics check.
Yeah.
You hear this thing like hit the wall and go through it. You see like bricks like fly past your head. You
Yeah.
shoulder open this door, and you're in another hallway. It hooks immediately to the left. You can feel like cold radiating from the wall directly in front of you. You hook to the left, and you see a bunch of like open battlement style windows with snow like all in this area. You're in like a guard's room basically.
Open windows, not good. Anywhere I can go.
You can hook to the left and keep running the length of the keep.
No other doors, no way up.
Not from here.
Okay, I left then.
Turn left, coming through. As soon as you turn left, like this is like the entire everything that was just behind you just explodes. There's now just void as this thing like whips around, like, and it gets taken out. Like it can't corner. A, there's not enough space, and B, it's not like agile enough to corner. So it just goes over the side of the cliff. You pause just for a second, because I know you're gonna keep running. I know you, but you're just like you pause. You look, and this thing just like opens its wings like the fucking songbird from BioShock. Just opens its wings, catches the wind, and starts wheeling it's like slowly up towards you with another like awful scream. Just like nope, gone. You get to the end of this hallway, and there's a spiral staircase leading up and down.
Up we go.
You run up.
If I hear the thing like either outside close by, like nearby door is going in, because if it takes this spiral staircase out, I'm fucked.
Yeah, I think you hear it like land on the side of the outside of the staircase that you're on. So you bust through the nearest door, and you're in another hallway. It's like the inverse of where you just were. Not the guard's room, but the balcony hallway. It's the inverse. So it goes directly in front of you, and it goes off to your right. This one is walled. It doesn't have the windows, and then there's doors to your left going down this hallway, and then if you turn to the right, there will be doors on your right. So there's doors in the wall that you just came out of, and there's doors to the walls directly in front of you.
Right.
Can you picture that? Do I need to draw it? I might draw it. If you
You might need to draw it, yeah.
Okay. So you came out into... Oh, fuck. I used the wrong shape. 1 second. You came out into... this. You are here.
Right. Okay.
There's doors here like this, and there's doors here like this.
Right.
There you go.
Can't see beyond, like, up here. And here.
I mean, you can. It's more of the same. It'll open up into a big room at the end of this hallway. You don't know what's down here. It's too long.
Right. Da. So, like, from where I'm standing, forward would be to the big room.
Forward, yeah, forward. Without turning, if you just run straight, you'll be heading back into the area of the keep, so to say, instead of along the perimeter. And it will, yeah, eventually open up into a big room, it looks like. But you can't tell what the big room is.
Aye, forward then.
Okay, so you run down this hallway. You hear your blood pounding in your ears. That's the main thing you hear.
Yeah.
You run to the end of this hallway, and you're in... Credit where it's due. You're in a room that I am ripping wholesale from Curse of Strahd because it's really pretty.
Yeah.
So you run into a long, narrow room. It's taller and longer than it is wide. It's maybe 20 to 25 feet wide. It's about 50 or 60 feet long and probably about 30 feet tall. It faces back the way you came. It faces the front of the keep. There's a big window set into that wall. Think of it kind of like the way the deck of a starship is laid out, sort of. The big window and or view screen is on one side and all the stations are on the other.
Yeah.
Right, facing that, and you usually come in from one of the two wings, right? Kind of like that. Except here, there's a big stone seat on a raised, on a tiered raised platform on the back facing the big window. And there's not a lot else in this room. Except for the fact that there's a person sitting in the seat.
Okay.
She is taller than Salcom. She's got alabaster skin, ebony hair. She's wearing like a mix of like white and black. And she's got 2 gigantic raven wings coming out of her shoulder. Otherwise, she looks human. She's armed with... Gamza, your typing is very loud.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries. She's armed with like a... I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's spelled like you say Flamberge. Flamberge, thank you.
Right.
Big, like, 2-handed sword resting on the side of the pedestal. And she's just sitting there watching the snow overlooking the courtyard as you run in. She doesn't, like, start, but she, like, turns to look at you in that, like, predator kind of way.
It's like the slow turn and just look like, what are you doing here? Kind of thing.
Do you say, what are you doing here to her?
No.
Yeah.
No, was the way she turns to look at him.
Yes.
What am I doing here?
Her wings are, like, extended and resting on the armrest of the chair. Like, they won't fit behind her in the chair that she's sitting in. So she looks even bigger than she actually is.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, you come in, and yeah, she's like, turns to look at you. And like, she doesn't say anything, at least not at first, because she's just, like, staring at you.
He automatically like just puts his hands up. It's like, I'm not here for any trouble. I'm just want my sword and to get away from the thing that's out there, like pointing behind him.
You point behind you at nothing.
Yeah. As in just void.
No, as in there's, like, it's just the keep. Like, it's normal. Everything's fine.
No giant bird.
No destruction either. I mean, there's destruction,
wow.
but like not giant bird-related destruction.
Aye, and it looks behind him. It's like, wait, what?
It's like
Just like,
very
pinches his nose.
lightly inclines her head to you, otherwise doesn't move.
She what?
She very lightly inclines her head to you and doesn't move otherwise. She hasn't reached for the sword. In fact, she hasn't moved her hands at all.
Just like looks up at where he is. Or is it the kind of like come here kind of incline?
Sorry?
Is it the kind of like come here
No.
incline?
No. It was like you look behind you like I was chasing from this thing, and like she just like tilts her head a little bit in like acknowledgement, and that's it. Gamzee, keyboard.
Taking a couple of seconds to like catch his breath because oh
Right.
shit.
Right.
Like takes a deep breath. It's like would I be able to access the keep to get my sword back? Like still every now and again glancing over his shoulders like where the fuck's that thing gonna come from?
I think she smiles. And when she speaks, her voice is... Who in Amberridge would Brayden have the most affinity towards? It wouldn't be your mother.
No, obviously not.
Would it be like Lawrence's mother? Like whose voice would she have?
Honestly, probably the person that would have like maybe took care of him more so.
I mean,
Maybe
that was Andre, wasn't it?
Out of like the women of the village, it would have probably been.
It doesn't
Connie's
necessarily
grandma.
have to be a woman. She's a woman, but the voice could be like whoever.
Fair. It's funny having Andre's voice coming from her.
I mean, we could do that.
It would either be Andre or Tristan, to be honest.
Or Tristan. Well, which one? Yeah, actually, yeah. I think Tristan makes more sense, honestly.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, so she looks at you, and she says in Tristan's voice, she says, the keystone is where it belongs. It's not yours.
Look of concern, slight step back. What do you mean, keystone?
The keystone brought you here.
Right, I had that specially made. There shouldn't be any. Like, does the air quotes keystone in it? In it?
She chuckles, and it sounds like a flock of ravens, like croaking.
Okay.
And she shakes her head. She says, that which is willed into existence can still be a keystone. It is mine, or more accurately, my lady's. If you would claim it, then you are here to serve.
There's a slide between a mix between a sigh and a grumble. And is there a easy way to get down to like where she is?
She's above you, actually. She's on a plinth, like a. You know how like a king's throne will have like a couple steps leading up to it?
Like a dais?
Like a dais, thank you.
I misunderstood the layout of the room.
Yeah.
I thought I was on an elevated platform going
No,
down.
she's on an elevated platform, and she's tall as fuck.
Okay. So I'd be walking up to her than trying to find a way to her.
You start to approach, and you like the room is big, so like you get close enough that you don't have to shout, and then you take another step, and she puts her hand on the hilt of the flamberge.
Again, like, puts his hands up. It's like, I have no intention to fight. Like, and as like a show of faith, he like takes the crossbow off, like one-handed. And
There's a
puts on the
bolt in
ground,
it?
kicks. Slightly wondering how it got in there, and then just kicks the like, tosses it away.
Okay, you set it on the ground. She doesn't take her hand off the sword.
Right.
She's just like watching you, and she says, "If you are here to claim the keystone, you are here to serve."
Serve who?
The Queen of Shadows.
It's like, it gets a look of, I have no idea who that is.
She who sings in memory. Oh fuck. Hang on, I'm losing stream.
Oh.
More technical difficulties.
I think it's storming or snowing, I think. But I dropped to 0 kbs there. It's still going. Hang on.
I just pulled up Twitch and it is struggling.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna wait for it. I'm gonna wait for it to clear up before we continue.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
We gotta get you one of those old-timey TV test cards, but instead of the mechanical details, it's just runic circles.
Yeah, right.
I just popped to another channel, if it helps, Kit, and the connection was also struggling there.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't think it's Twitch. I think it's me. Well, then again, my Discord is fine.
I was gonna say, if it's you, then you'd be having trouble with Discord as well.
That's true. I still want this to stabilize before we go on, because this is important.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, my upload is at a sixth of what it usually is currently.
Ooh.
Yeah. Come on, Twitch.
Twitch be twitching.
Twitch be twitching. It happened. Sorry, everyone.
In the meantime, how's chat and the other players doing?
How are you guys enjoying Brayden's intro?
This is fantastically tense.
A couple of moments there was like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
If you were like that, just imagine what my fucking heart was doing.
That's a long way down.
14 has just drawn so many parallels for me. It's almost annoying.
Sorry, I didn't catch it. Parallels with what?
Final
Parallels
Fantasy
with
14.
FF14.
Parallels with FF14, parallels with Bloodborne, parallels with Resident
Evil.
At this point, I'm just waiting for Lady MS2 to show up.
Parallels.
She's
Strahd,
sitting on the
to...
chair, dog.
Parallels to Strahd, much to Kit's chagrin.
No, I'm fine with parallels to Strahd.
I was gonna say that one sounds like it's by design.
A little bit. I keep dropping to 0 upload, and I want that to stop before we keep going.
Yeah.
It's valid.
Like, I can deal with dropped frames, especially for like a DA show, but if I'm not uploading at all, there's no point.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, because on the stream, like, actually, page, it keeps buffering.
Yeah, I know. It's buffering on my side too, because I'm dropping to 0 upload.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Del, but I really want to like get that fixed.
No, You're here to tell a story, and if you can't put the story out to people, then what's the point?
Right. Do.
Rochelle might have to take a breather and pen it later.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully not. But...
At this rate, I'm gonna have to. Oh! Nope. Damn. It jumped back to my usual upload for a second, and then it dropped way down.
Okay.
Like, my Discord seems solid, my Roll20 seems solid. I think it's just my streaming stuff.
I guess it's time for a game. Is it OBS, Twitch, or something else entirely?
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if it was some background process on my PC being fucky.
Also possible. Oh hey, you got an update. Let's update everything else while we're at it.
Yep.
Maybe do a quick check with Task Manager.
Yeah, good call.
Because I've got that open permanently for anything that pops up. It's like, I don't want this. Bye.
Let's see.
Mainly just because of how shit my internet is.
The thing that is using the most of my PC right now is Streamlabs, which it should be, and Chrome. But nothing is beyond 5%. This is a connection issue.
God damn it.
Something shitternet.
No, actually my internet is usually pretty good. And since I got a wired connection, this has happened much less. Which tells me it's either storm damage, and I don't know if it's storming or not, or Twitch.
Your connection here in Discord hasn't cut at all.
Right.
It could also be squirrels of all things. Squirrels cause an amazing amount of damage.
They really.
If that was the case, though, it would be affecting Discord, I think.
No, not squirrels at your house. I mean squirrels somewhere.
Right.
So there's probably squirrels in the Twitch server box. Totally.
Yes.
That or something got screwy on one of the internet backbones.
I can try to restart the stream, see if that fixes it. I don't know, how badly would that fuck the VOD, Del?
I can just splice the two highlights together.
Oh, can you?
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna close out the stream, guys, and see if a reboot fixes it. We'll be back in just a second, if you can hear me. Stay tuned.
Aye, because like there's a